Holy crap, guys, we are here. It's 2025, another year of exciting movies coming up ahead. This is definitely going to be a big anticipated list for 2025 because there's a lot of movies I'm honestly looking forward to in 2025. I couldn't put into a 10. So, I decided to talk about 20 anticipated movies that I'm looking forward to in 2025 with a lot of honorable mentions. There's a lot of movies I am looking forward to 2025. 2024 has been a pretty good year, so hopefully 2025 is a better year. Hopefully it's a great year for movies to come. I'm really excited all these movies that are coming out in 2025. There are some movies I'm not excited as well, but definitely there's a lot of movies that I am looking forward to in 2025. Before I get started my anticipated list, hopefully you guys had a great new year. Hopefully you guys end up 2024 with a great bang. Hopefully you enjoyed my end of the year list for 2024. It's been real fun. I love doing these lists for you guys. Now, a list that I love doing every beginning of the year. Let's talk about the movies that I am looking forward to in 2025. And hopefully these movies exceed my expectations. Let's start off with some honorable mentions. We've got quite a lot, so let's get through them. Starting off with The Battle of Backman Cross, Paul Thomas Anderson's new film with Leonardo DiCaprio and Benicio del Toro. Looking forward to that. Jurassic World Rebirth, The Smashing Machine, Zootopia 2, The Running Man remake, Lilo and Stitch, Saw 11, Ballerina, The Gorge, Michael, Trong Ares, Companion, The Anaconda, Nobody 2, The Bad Guys 2, and The Accountant 2. Those movies I'm looking forward to, but they don't end up on my 20 list, but definitely those movies I'm at least curious about and also looking forward to in 2025. No further ado, guys, let's get into my 20 most anticipated films for 2025. Let's start off in my 20 with Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. Now, I love Guillermo del Toro. Great director, Pan's Labyrinth, the Hellboy movies. He directs some stylistic, epic movies. And him tackling on the classic Frankenstein story, I am in. The cast is huge, from Christoph Waltz, Oscar Isaac, Maya Goth. Fantastic people that are involved in this movie. I don't know what this movie is about. The set photo looks very convincing. I can see that Guillermo del Toro is using a lot of great style over substance in this one. And I cannot wait to see when the movie comes upon. I think the Frankenstein story has been in a lot of movies all these years. So hopefully Guillermo del Toro does a very unique take on the Frankenstein story. Coming to my number 19 is Thunderbolts. Now, the MCU has been on a train wreck right now, but Deadpool and Wolverine kind of like puts it up on the map again, so hopefully the MCU this year just goes back on track. And from Thunderbolts, this movie looks like a lot of fun. It literally looks like the Suicide Squad with Marvel characters in it. I love Florence Pugh, I love David Harbour. I do like Wild Russell in the role. There's a lot of great casting in this movie, and this movie looks like it has a completely different tone than the other MCU films. This movie definitely looks like a lot of fun, and hopefully this is basically a pushback of making the MCU movies great again, because I still have faith with the MCU. I love the MCU ever since the first Iron Man came out. So hopefully Thunderbolts brings that back, and the movie looks like a lot of fun. Coming to my number 18 is Karate Kid Legends. I enjoyed The Karate Kid. It is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's one of my favorite movies as a kid, and I especially love Cobra Kai. And now this movie is basically sort of like Karate Kid No Way Home in a way, where we have Ralph Macchio and also Jackie Chan from the Kung Fu Kid, the remake that's no longer a remake anymore, because now the Karate Kid 2010 is now in the same universe as the Ralph Macchio movies. And how can you not get excited for that? Ralph Macchio and Jackie Chan in a movie together, that is awesome. I love the way the teaser trailer presented. I love the way it's edited. The movie looks like another great addition to the Karate Kid franchise. It's definitely going to give me an excuse to review the Karate Kid movies, because the Karate Kid movies I grew up with as a kid. I love all three of them. Even though the third one sucks, it's still sort of like my guilty pleasure in a way. But the movie looks like it's going to combine these two legends together, and hopefully this movie is worth the price of admission, especially after the last season of Cobra Kai. I cannot wait to see where it goes after that, because it takes place after the last season of Cobra Kai, so I cannot wait to see how this movie goes. Coming to my number 17 is the How to Train Your Dragon remake. Now, I know some people are mixed by this. Some people are excited for this. Some people aren't excited for this. To me, I am excited for this remake. I thought the teaser trailer actually really impressed me. At first, I'm just like, really? They're remaking one of my favorite DreamWorks movies of all time? Seriously? Don't tell me DreamWorks is starting to do these live action films like Disney is doing. But no, honestly, this teaser trailer actually really impressed me. What I'm really worried about this movie though is that this movie is trying to be like a copy and paste of the original. Hopefully it's not like that. Hopefully it's like a fresh new take on the story that we've seen before. This is still by the same director of the other 3 movies, so this could possibly be very good. And I love the CGI on the dragon so far. The design of Toothless is exactly the accurate from the animated film, which I'm happy about. I'm so happy they go with the original design, not trying to make a brand new design, because of course people are going to be mixed by it. But the way this How to Train Your Dragon adaptation looks, it looks very good. I think this teaser trailer really impressed me. I'm definitely going to see this movie in IMAX. Hopefully this movie is at least a really watchable, worth watching remake. Of course it's not going to be as great as the original film, but hopefully at least it's a very worthy remake. Coming to my number 16 is Captain America Brave New World. Now, again, the MCU, track record, it's not doing really good right now. But there's something about Captain America Brave New World with the trailers and stuff that got me very interested. This movie looks like it's going to be a really unique politic thriller, like Captain America the Winter Soldier, but with Anthony Mackie as Captain America now. And I love Anthony Mackie. I think he's a great actor, and I think he's going to nail it as Captain America. And of course, Harrison Ford basically taking on William Hurt Shoes, rest in peace, as General Ross / Red Hulk, and we finally get to see Red Hulk on the big screen, and he looks awesome from the trailers. But definitely this movie looks like it's going to go through the exact same tone as the 3 Captain America movies, trying to be a serious politician thriller with Captain America in it, which I love about The Winter Soldier. I love that about that film. So hopefully it does the same thing with Brave New World, but what concerns me is about the test screenings. A lot of people aren't liking this movie from the test screens and I had to do a lot of reshoots, so hopefully that doesn't affect the film. But Captain America Brave New World, from the trailers, this movie looks intense, it looks very, very thrilling, and hopefully it's another film that puts the MCU back on track. Coming to my number 15 is Wolfman. Now, Blumhouse hasn't been doing great last year. It's probably one of the worst years for Blumhouse that I've ever seen. But the reason why I'm giving this one a chance is because it's from the same director of The Invisible Man, one of my favorite movies of one of the worst years of movies ever, 2020. I love The Invisible Man. I thought it's very well directed, very intense film, and the trailers of Wolfman actually really do impress me. Yes, we got 2 other adaptations of Wolfman, and the remake with Benicio del Toro is a piece of shit. But there's something about this modern adaptation of the Wolfman story that looks very convincing. Is it going to be another universe where the Invisible Man is the same director and the Wolfman is the same director and somehow they're in the same universe? I hope not, but if it does, it would have been interesting because Wolfman could possibly be like the Invisible Man, be a very unique take on a Wolfman story. But the movie looks convincing from the trailers and it's coming out in a couple of weeks, so let's see how this movie goes. Coming to my number 14 is Leo. This is Pixar's latest film and definitely my most anticipated animated film of this year because Pixar is doing original films again, and from the trailers of Leo, this movie was meant to come out last year, I'm pretty sure. It's been delayed, but now it's coming out this year, and I'm gonna say, like, with the plot of a kid being adopted by aliens and the aliens think he's the leader of Earth, I thought it's a very fun plot to tell. It probably goes in ways where you think it's going to expect, but hopefully it does it in a unique way as well. But the animation in Pixar is definitely improving, especially with Inside Out 2, and the animation in this one looks very lighthearted, very sweet. Whenever Pixar is doing something original when it comes to their animated films, I'm honestly looking forward to it, and Leo obviously looks very, very convincing. The animation also looks very unique from the trailers, and the character designs look also very unique. So hopefully this is another Pixar classic that we needed right now, because Inside Out 2 just brought Pixar back on the map. Hopefully Leo does the exact same thing. Coming to my number 13 is The Monkey. Now, this is took from the director of one of my favorite horror films of last year, which is Longlegs. I love Longlegs. I thought that movie really affected me. I thought that movie was one of the most intense films that I've seen. I haven't seen a single trailer for this. I know there's a teaser trailer of this film that's very, very short. Have no idea what this movie's about. It might be about a haunting monkey with the symbols. Don't know what it's about, but all I'm excited about is the director, because he directed Longlegs and that film is fantastic, and the cast looks incredible, and just the potential this movie could have been. If this movie is good like Longlegs, I think we have a new great horror director right here. So easily The Monkey, I'm into it because I love the director. I thought Longlegs is really well written and very well directed, so let's see how The Monkey goes. Coming into my number 12 is Mickey 17. Now, this took from the director of Snowpiercer and one of my favorite movies of 2019, Parasite. That film was fantastic. And with this concept about cloning in a way, where it does it in a very unique way with Robin Pattinson, great cast, Mark Ruffalo, the movie looks more funnier than it looks like it's going to be. It looks like it's going to be a science fiction comedy that looks very hilarious, but also looks very beautifully directed at the exact same time. This movie is meant to come out this January, but no, it's coming out in April, I think. So yeah, a bit of a switch date delay in Australia. But the movie looks like a lot of fun. It looks definitely visually stunning. The look of the movie looks absolutely incredible. It's kind of a different directed movie that the director is going to do. But the great thing about this director is that most of his movies are very original and very unique and different. And this movie looks original and different, taking a clone unique story and make it really different and original. It definitely looks like a lot of fun, and definitely one of those movies I'm definitely going to see in IMAX because the movie looks absolutely beautiful. And Robert Pattinson, for a comedic role, he looks like he's going to kill it. Coming into my number 11 is Megan 2.0. Now, Megan was one of the biggest surprises of 2022. I was not expecting Megan to be good. I watched the trailers, I'm like, this looks like another crappy Blumhouse movie. But no, Megan was a lot of fun. So, of course, with this sequel, I'm actually very into it. Hopefully this is as good as the original. Hopefully it steps up than the original film. I thought Megan as a slasher killer character is really unique and effective. It's probably the movie that starts doing AI horror films on the map, because Megan is definitely one of the most unique AI horror characters that I've ever seen in a film. But I'm wondering how Megan is still alive. What's going to happen with the characters in this one? Hopefully we get to see Megan basically slashing people again, because that's all we want to see, and doing more meme dances that we all know and love from the first movie. But Megan really surprised me that year, and I was expecting that movie to be terrible, so I'm praying that Megan 2.0 surprised me once again, and that's why I'm putting it on my anticipated list. Now we're getting into the actual top 10 movies that I'm actually really looking forward to in 2025. Coming to my number 10 is my most anticipated MCU film of the year, and that is Fantastic Four: First Steps. Now, Fantastic Four hasn't been doing a great track record of the movies coming on the big screen. You know, the Tim Story movies aren't that great, even though I enjoy for what they are. They're not great movies, and especially Fantastic. Probably one of the worst comic book films that I've ever seen in my life. So MCU can have a chance to making Fantastic Four being great again. I heard this movie takes place in like some futuristic 1960s, kind of like the Jetsons, which I thought that's awesome for Fantastic Four. It's gonna make this movie much more unique movie in the MCU, and especially that this movie took place in a completely different universe, which definitely makes sense for this one. But the cast is great. The guy from The Bear is playing The Thing, Vanessa Kirby is playing Susan Storm, Joseph Quinn is playing the Human Torch, and Pedro Pascal playing Reed Richards. I'm really excited for this cast. I think this cast is gonna absolutely nail it. How it's gonna connect to Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom, because it's gonna somewhat connect to that. But definitely we need a good Fantastic Four movie, because come on, Fantastic Four, Marvel's first family, they need a lot of respect on the big screen, and so far with those 3 films, it didn't. Actually 4 films, there was one in the 90s I completely forgot about in a good way. So hopefully this is a Fantastic Four movie that goes, yes, we can make a good Fantastic Four movie, and we got it right. That is my most anticipated MCU film of this year. Coming to my number 9 is Predator: Badlands. This is once again directed by Dan Trachtenberg, who directed Prey that came out a couple of years ago, which is definitely one of the best Predator films that I've seen in a while, and also 10 Cloverfield Lane. I love this director. I think the way he directed Prey is very unique and fantastic. So he's once again doing another Predator movie, and I am on board with it. I know this has Ellie Fanning in it. That's all I've heard about. I haven't heard about the plot of the film, but I just want to see Predator kicking more ass in this one. Even some rumors that the Predator is going to be basically a protagonist in this one. That's why I heard some rumors. It might not be true, but that plot could have been really freaking awesome. But I want this movie to be well directed like Prey did. I think Prey knows that this is a Predator movie, doing it very uniquely and very differently, and Dan Trachtenberg looks like he knows the Predator character and knows what he's doing with it. So definitely I want to see Predator once again on the big screen, and hopefully like Alien Romulus coming out last year, this is another great addition to the franchise right here. Coming to my number 8 is F1. Now this is Joseph Kosinski's new movie, who directed Top Gun Maverick that came out in 2022, which is one of the greatest sequels that I have seen in a very long time. One of the biggest surprises I would say in this decade so far. That film really freaking impressed me. So now tackling on before with 88 pilots, and now with Formula 1 drivers. Now, I remember my dad loved watching Formula 1 drivers, so, you know, seeing Formula 1 drivers on the big screen will be a real treat here. And it also stars Brad Pitt, which I've always loved Brad Pitt. He's a badass actor. And for a movie like this movie looks like an intense ride. The teaser trailer for F1 is fantastic. It looks like it's going to be well directed, same directed like Top Gun Maverick, where you see the perspective of the guys in the Formula 1 cars, and it looks very freaking thrilling. Definitely a movie you need to see in IMAX, definitely for sure after that trailer. I'm like, yep, I'm definitely seeing F1 in IMAX, that is for sure. Formula 1 is definitely going to promote this movie a lot, really. But I can't wait to see what Joseph Kosinski does with this Formula 1 movie. It looks like it's going to be great. It looks like it's going to be one of those underdog race stories, and I'm definitely on board with it. Coming to my number 7 is 28 Years Later. We're finally getting a third movie in this franchise. I love 28 Days Later. It's probably one of the most iconic zombie movies of all time. And once again, Danny Boyle and Alex Garland is back doing this movie again that they did the first movie, which is awesome. Aaron Taylor Johnson's in this movie. Cillian Murphy is returning from the first movie. And honestly, just from that teaser trailer, the way it's edited, it definitely looks like the most intense film in this trilogy. And don't kill me, guys, I have not seen 28 Weeks Later, but I have seen 28 Days Later, so I'm definitely going to watch 28 Weeks Later before this movie. But 28 Days Later is fantastic. It's definitely one of the best zombie films that came out in a while. So from this trailer, it looks like a very engaging and intense ride. And Danny Boyle, bring it on with this zombie movie, because honestly, this movie looks very freaking thrilling. Coming to my number 6 is Sinners. Now, Ryan Coogler. Love this director. He has not disappointed for all these years. I like Fruitvale Station. I love Creed. I love Black Panther 1 and 2. They're both fantastic movies. So Michael B. Jordan once again is back in a Ryan Coogler movie, like most Ryan Coogler movies he's doing. But this time it's going to be some sort of a vampire movie, what I've heard. From the trailers, it didn't show much, which I loved. I wanted to know this mystery, what is happening in the trailer. And especially, this is my most anticipated IMAX film that I want to see, because this is filmed with IMAX cameras. And the film looks very engaging, looks very intense. Michael B. Jordan once again is going to nail it. Haley Steinfeld is also in the film. Haven't seen her in the film in a long time. But definitely, there's something about this film that looks very intriguing to me. And it looks like a different directed film that Ryan Coogler is going to direct. Sort of a horror film in a way. When I heard that Ryan Coogler is directing some sort of a horror film with Michael B. Jordan coming back, it's easy to get inside it. And especially now it's filmed with IMAX cameras. Definitely on my top 10. I'm definitely into it. Coming to my number 5 is Wake Up Dead Men and Knives Out Mystery. Yes, Rian Johnson is finally doing a third Knives Out movie, and I love this franchise so far. I love Knives Out. I think it's one of the best Clue-inspired movies that I've ever seen. And Glass Onion definitely steps up from the original film. When the hell is it going to come out in 4K? Like, seriously, I'm definitely getting it if it is going to come out in 4K. And now we got the third one, which I heard is going to have Josh Brolin in it and Mila Kunis. That's all I heard who the cast is in the film. Of course, Daniel Craig is returning as this detective, which we all know and love from the first two films. I think the first two films are some of the greatest mysteries that I've seen in a film in a very long time. So hopefully this third one ups its game more. So Rian Johnson, bring it on with this mystery, and Daniel Craig also bring it on with your detective work once again. And hopefully this one comes on a big screen, not on Netflix. I want this movie to be a cinematic experience, so please do. If it comes on Netflix, it's fine, but honestly, a cinematic experience will make these movies much more better. Coming to my number 4 is Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, of course. Mission Impossible franchise. Ever since like Ghost Protocol, the franchise just gets better and better and better. I enjoyed the first one and the third one. Obviously the second one sucked, but you know, ever since after Ghost Protocol, seriously, this franchise just gets better and better and better, with probably some of the best cinematic action franchises of all time in a long time. And once again, Tom Cruise, 60 years old, he's still kicking ass, he's still doing stunts. Absolutely insane right here. That plane stunt, holy shit, how is he still freaking alive right now? But the question is this going to be the final Mission Impossible film? Is this going to be the final one with Tom Cruise, and maybe the franchise just keeps going along with someone else? There's something about this movie that looks very fanatic to me. The trailers look impressive, of course. The same director that directed the other ones is coming back for this one, and of course, you can't have it without him. You can't have it without Tom Cruise. I feel so bad for Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 because it came out the wrong time. Hopefully this movie comes out at the right time where people can remember this movie more and more. So of course Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning has to be on my anticipated list because it's Mission Impossible. What can go wrong with this franchise? This movie looks exactly the movie that I wanted to see after Dead Reckoning Part 1. And hopefully this is a great Part 2 to this split in 2 parts Mission Impossible film. Coming into my number 3 is Avatar: Fire and Ash. Of course. I love Avatar. I love it. I don't care how overrated people say it is. I love Avatar. The first Avatar, I love. The Way of Water is even better than the first one, and I enjoyed it. So of course, James Cameron, bring it on again with the third Avatar movie. I cannot wait to see this already in IMAX 3D, even though I haven't seen a bloody trailer for the film yet. Apparently this is going to have Fire Na'vi in this film, which I am definitely on board with that. But I cannot wait to see what Jake Sully's up to, and Natiri's up to, and the kids after the events of The Way of Water. Of course, this movie is going to be visually freaking stunning. James Cameron is great at motion capturing movies. He definitely knows what he is doing when it comes to that. Cannot wait to go back to Pandora once again in 2025 and seeing this new clan, seeing how they betrayed. I heard they're going to be villains in this one, which thank God, we have no humans this time. We got clan versus clan. That would be freaking awesome. So James Cameron, or Jim Cameron, bring it on with this Avatar movie, and cannot wait to go back to Pandora once again. Now, 2 and 1, I keep saying for every top 10 list or top 20 list, these two movies can be both my number 1 because I'm excited for these movies the most in 2025. But I put in different orders for particular reasons. Coming to my number 2 is Wicked for Good, or Wicked Part 2, however you want to call it. Of course, my favorite movie last year is Wicked. Love that movie so much. That movie blew me away. I saw it so many times in theaters. I bought it on digital and I'm watching it all over again. That's how much I love Wicked. I think it's one of the better musicals that I have seen in a very long time. And of course, it's a part 1. It's act 1 of the play that's portrayed on the big screen. So I cannot wait to see act 2 portrayed on the big screen. Especially that we're going to get some new songs as well in this one, which I'm definitely on board with it. Cynthia Riva even said on Facebook that one of the new songs you're definitely not ready for. So I'm definitely going to be ready to see how gripping these new songs are. I've seen the Wicked play, I know what's going to happen in Act 2, and I cannot wait to see how that's portrayed on the big screen. What worries about me in this one though is that, you know, like It Chapter 1 was great, but It Chapter 2 was disappointing. Please, Wicked Part 2 not be like that. Literally be the same movie that Wicked was. You know, continue the story and still make it very fresh, very intense, very fun, and very sad at the same time. The exact same tone that the first Wicked brought us. So I am praying that Wicked for Good is stepping up to the game for Wicked 1, and hopefully some of the new stuff actually really works in this one. But of course, my most anticipated film is right here in my number 1. This is a film that, holy shit, after the teaser trailer, I'm like, done. This is over Wicked for Good, easily. Honestly, Wicked for Good was my number 1 until the teaser trailer came out for this particular movie, and of course you're wondering where that movie is on the list. It's on my number 1. My most anticipated film of 2025 is absolutely James Gunn's Superman. Holy shit, that teaser trailer is some of the best teaser trailers that I have ever seen in a long freaking time. And James Gunn's DC Universe is starting off with a rise right here after that trailer. I cannot wait for this film. David Cornsweet, he is going to completely nail it as Clark Kent / Superman. The movie looks like it's literally ripping straight out of a comic book in a good way. James Gunn looks like he knows what it's doing when it comes to directing and writing the film. I can't wait for the rest of the cast, like Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. Hopefully he does well because he impressed me for all these years. The action scenes look epic. The visual effects look stunning. The way Superman looks, he looks so badass in this one. It looks like he's going for the old school routes like the Christopher Reeve does in a really good way, while also trying to bring some new characters to James Gunn's DC universe. But hopefully this is still about Superman, you know? Like hopefully they're like Iron Man in Spider-Man Homecoming, where it's like they're not much in the movie, but they fit in within the story. Hopefully they don't just put him in going, oh, that's a reference to that, that's a reference to that. We want this movie to be about Clark Kent / Superman trying to be a hero while everyone else is not appreciating him, which I thought it's a really good concept for a Superman movie. And I feel like this movie is going to nail all those elements to the map. Honestly, I feel like this is going to be one of the better DC films that we're going to see for a long time, and hopefully this is a great start with movies of the James Gunn DC universe. I still haven't seen Creature Commandos yet. I'm definitely going to watch it when the season ends. I'm definitely going to check it out straight away because James Gunn, man, with the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, with Suicide Squad, with Peacemaker, he can direct great comic book stuff and written some great comic book stuff as well. So hopefully he does it justice with Superman, and hopefully James Gunn's new DC universe is what we need right now for comic book movies. So of course Superman is my most anticipated film of 2025. So guys, those are my anticipated movies for 2025. Let me know in the comments below, what are your most anticipated films of 2025? I think this is going to be a pretty big year right now because there's so many movies I was looking forward to. I had to do a 20 list. So let me know your anticipated movies of 2025 in the comments below. Cannot wait for another year, guys. This is actually my 10th year doing movie reviews. This is insane. I just want to say thank you so much for joining me on this journey, and hopefully this year is going to be the best year yet. Make sure you guys follow me on social media links down below, keep contact with me, and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel for my latest movie reviews and other movie related content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a nice day.